What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Oddity Acres. Today, we are in Olmsted, Ohio, at a small cemetery called the Chestnut Grove Cemetery. And there is a local legend that resides here that has been going on for years and years. I remember hearing stories about my mom when she was a teenager coming out here, getting kicked out with her friends. This is a story that, just sticks with history for some reason. People seem to really embrace this out here, and they even do ghost walks during the Halloween season. So I'm here to bring you the facts and the legends and the myths, and I'm excited you guys are riding along with me. So we'll see you when we kind of get inside, and we'll go from there. See you in there. So this cemetery was founded in 1854. It was originally called the Turkeyfoot Cemetery because of a group of turkeys that used to roost in the area. We are pretty close to the Hopkins Airport in Cleveland, so planes are going to be flying overhead, and I'm going to try to film in between there so you don't hear the planes the entire video. Now, when people reference this place, a lot of the times they refer to it as the Hill, as opposed to a cemetery, because it overlooks this cliff that looks down into the Rocky River. Now, the layout of the cemetery is kind of strange. When you pull in, you have a small plot here, not much bigger than, a standard small cemetery would be, but then you get farther into the back and you find all the graves that are kind of laid out into the wood line, and that's kind of where our story begins. So when you get past the gate area, you can either go straight or you can go left or right. Left will take you down here, which I can see more graves, and eventually down to the river. Straight takes you to a small burial plot that's kind of in a circular formation. It doesn't seem to go much farther as the hill kind of drops off back there. And if you go right, it looks like it's just woods. It doesn't look like I see any markers, but we will check that out. I've never been here before, ever. I've passed it a million times. I grew up in the area, but I've never been here. It's actually magical in a way. It's beautiful, very peaceful and calming. Wow. Now, our story goes back many years. Obviously, we don't have record of this. It's a local legend, but I always think that there's some sort of truth and reality behind every legend. I mean, it had to come from somewhere, and for legends that have been around for this long, there's got to be some sort of backing to it, in my opinion. So back when people started settling in this area in Olmsted, in this part of Ohio, a lot of people came from the New England states, moving farther west, and a lot of them shared the beliefs in witchcraft and the trials and the accusations and unfortunately the execution of people who they believed to be witches. So the story goes that there was a woman that lived out here in the middle of nowhere, and she was accused of being a witch, accused of witchcraft. and the townspeople spoke up and they hung her from a tree just down here by the water, and where the body dropped is where she was buried. They say she was buried with iron cage around her grave. That's not going to be here right now, obviously. That has been lost to time, but they say that there's still spikes from the ground. You can see where it was cut or where it wore away, that we're going to be looking for today. But I'm going to bring you over to that spot. I actually don't know where it's at, so we're going to kind of figure it out together, but I know I'm kind of in the general area. As I said, the cemetery is pretty small, so it shouldn't be super hard to find. We'll see. Another story goes, a variation if you will, that there was actually a group of witches that lived out here, and that they were executed and buried all together, and they continue to haunt this piece of land in the cemetery. A lot of these graves out here covered in moss have all these stones around them, which is very odd, but very cool in the same way. Just nature kind of taken back over. I mean, obviously these stones were planted here by somebody, but it's really cool to see. As you work your way left down the hill, you're kind of greeted by about 10 stones here, 10 markers that kind of sit peacefully on the hillside here. Again, a lot of circular stones marking burial sites. We're going to keep going. Now this stone has some iron that's in the ground there, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm looking for. Nothing's marked here. And I don't see any more iron except for that one spike. And off to the side of it looks like just a long drop down to the water, which is really beautiful, by the way. Beautiful time of year. Now the tree that it sits under is quite an old, massive tree, and definitely could be from that time period that the legend states. Now this tree is laying down in the path that's supposed to go down to the water. I'm wondering if it fell there because something didn't want people to go down and visit graves, or if it was just nature. Not a lot down here. It's kind of rocky, and it looks like it would be a very difficult place to bury anybody. I mean, it's pretty steep. You can walk down it for sure, but it is pretty steep. And it leads you right down here to a beautiful waterside edge. Now, one of the stories go that there were 4 young boys that were coming here to visit the witch's grave, and they all stole a rock from the grave site, and they got into a horrible car accident on the way home, and apparently only one of them survived because he was the only one who did not actually take a rock from the burial site. Again, there's no record of that, but it's a crazy story. I didn't even take anything, and I might die of a heart attack out here because this hill. It's a beautiful Saturday evening, one of the last of the year. What do you want to do, Cody? How do you want to enjoy your day? You want to go through an old cemetery and try to find a witch's grave? Sure, why not? Why not? Now, there's been tons of pictures and things that have surfaced on the internet with, different orbs and misty-like shapes, things like that. A lot of people said they've caught EVPs and shadow figures, all sorts of stuff. Upon reading further into the story about the boys, they put a very important detail that they probably should have started with. Just a tip for anybody else that wants to put warnings on things. They said that not only do you not have to take a rock if you just go near the grave, bad things will happen to you. So, cool. I saw a couple other videos that were done out here. One I know was from 2013. One might have been a little bit more recent. Still a pretty old video. You're not going to find much online other than the websites that talk about the lore and the legend and the myth. I have walked pretty far around the entire property and have not seen anything else that kind of resembles what I'm looking for. That's a squirrel, and yeah, it did scare the shit out of me. They did say that somewhere there was a circle of stones, a witch's circle, if you will. I did not see that either. Maybe those boys took all the stones, I don't know. But I have not seen them. The stones, not the boys. I haven't seen them either, but you get the point. Clearly there's upkeep because most of the leaves have been pushed back into the wood line and cleared out for people to walk around. We are edging towards winter right now, so that's really nice. I'm always an advocate of picking up flags and putting them back on stones and keeping these beautiful resting places looking nice and treating them with respect. These woods definitely do look like they'd be creepy though after sunset for sure. In fact, if it was darker, that squirrel would have probably been the end of my little investigation here, so. But I'm still here. I'm hanging out for you guys. No punk-ass squirrel's gonna get me out of here. Yet. So after a little bit more reading and investigating here, because you know me, I do it on the fly, this looks to be like the spot we're looking for. This is the marker that I think everybody's talking about. All right, so this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I told you that one of the other videos I found on YouTube that was done back in 2013 showed this location, and I rewatched it in the car and I realized that there used to be the witch's circle that we were talking about. All the stones were right around here. I'll show you the screenshot here. This is where all the stones were, and that's the reason why I didn't initially recognize it, because it obviously doesn't look the same as it was in all my research. This is definitely it. And I completely missed this the first time, but there's another rod in the ground. And somebody left a peace and joy emblem on there. So that completely, in my mind, confirms this location. I wonder why they removed all of the stones around here. Maybe because they didn't want people coming back here and looking for it. It's so interesting because there's no markers on this grave at all. But you can definitely see the rods that are in the ground. And you can definitely tell this is the location, and this is where it's been said. There's plenty of trees. I'm sure that maybe, I mean, as I said, this tree looks pretty old, but there could be another tree that fell, obviously. I mean, that was a long time ago. But this is it. We found it. The witch's grave. Very cool. Creepy, but cool. It was really creepy. I caught some stuff on the SLS camera, a figure standing at the wood line right there. I'll show it to you here in a clip. That's crazy. You guys ever use SLS cameras? What do you guys think about them? Do they work? I wanted to also say, if you guys come out here, if you're in the area and you come looking for this, it's not that hard to find, but please be respectful. Please don't do anything that, would destruct or damage this beautiful area. You know, this is people's final resting place, so I know all you viewers are. I know you guys don't do that kind of thing, but just asking, please make sure that you treat this place with respect that it deserves. Well, that's it, guys. We found it, which is more than I thought would happen. I had zero confidence in this because there's really no direction that you can find online. But we did. We found it. So thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Oddity Acres. If you have a second, please go and like the video. Please subscribe. Share it with your friends. You know, we are on the road. We just surpassed 1,000 subscribers. So thank you guys. Every single person who's subscribed to this channel, you guys rock. I cannot tell you how important it is. Every time I see you guys, a new subscriber, it really, really, really touches me. So thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed yet and you have a quick second, please do. We put out tons of cool videos like this, lots of cool content. Anything from spooky, scary, paranormal, haunted locations, horror movie filming locations, true crime, you name it, we have it. We're bringing it to you Halloween year round. So hope everybody had a great Halloween. Stay scared, and we will see you next time on another episode of Oddity Acres.